Hi there, and welcome to another episode of TPI Talks. In this episode, we speak to Lee from Whitelight, who actually joins us from their SmartStage to talk about all the various streaming options they have available for their customers. For this one, seeing is believing, so without further ado, over to you, Lee.
All right, Lee, thanks very much for having us. Before we go any further, where are you?
Morning, Stuart. I'm standing on Whitelight SmartStage. So we have a SmartStage set up here in SW19. It's a larger version of our normal offering, but we've built something that we hope appeals to the current state of the world that we live in, and it's allowing people to still directly engage with clients, with staff, but give them a space that feels a bit more relaxed and a bit more kind of safe. So we built a purpose stage that there's lots of space. You've got a lot of area to stand, present, and we've built it in a way that hopefully allows, well, it does allow for remote galleries, remote cameras, and the ability to just come on and use our stage to present. It's a product we've been working on for about 2.5 years now. We are taking essentially everything you can see through the cameras, everything I can see on stage. So I'm on an LED floor. I've got 2 LED walls with 5-meter walls, 5 meters by 5 meters, 3 meters high, and then a 5-meter by 5-meter square LED. So everything on the stage that I can see, so I can read, that says wall right, 1920 by 1152, wall left, is being captured by the camera and you're seeing it at home. So there's no keying involved in any of this. With traditional green screen, obviously we're keying, we're adding content afterwards. Everything you see now is being generated live to the stage, or we're adding as a VR element as a set extension, which we'll go into in a minute as well. I've got a single camera in front of me. It's a broadcast camera, it's on a jib. There's no one operating it, so we'll have static shots at the moment. I've got proper lighting, so I'm being lit by a mixture of moving lights and panel lighting as well. I'm wearing tracking beacon, so it's allowing me to be lit properly as I move around the stage. Lighting is following me. So again, one of the advantages with what we do is we can light properly, so we're giving that power back to the LD that they can actually light the talent properly. Traditional green screen is soft lighting, whereas we can do key lighting here, so I'm being lit from the front, side, back, etc. Tracking data on me, we're using black tracks. So it's giving me positional data for me, which not only allows me to interact with the lighting, but I can also interact with content as well, should we want to do that. Camera has got tracking data as well. We're using Gnosis in this case, so as camera moves, we know exactly where it is, and we're pushing content to the perspective of that camera to the walls. Otherwise, what you see around you is pretty much me on my own on SmartStage. We're being powered by Disguise. We've been a Disguise certified solution partner for a number of years now, so we've helped develop a lot of their XR software, and specifically for SmartStage, that's been a co-development between us and Disguise. So that's what we're using today, Disguise server, a mixture of GX1s and GX2s. That's all wrapped up again with the tracking data and the knowledge of how we've been using this for the last 2.5 years. So we've worked alongside a lot of different creative producers, looking at different ways of using content, whether that's Unity, Unreal, Notch. We're agnostic to that. That can all be fed in, and we can use that as a mixture of backplate, which is content you'll see behind me, and also front plate or AR that has in front of me. So that's the hardware we're standing on. Where we started this from was we worked with Discovery Eurosport 2.5 years ago, Winter Olympics. Discovery Eurosport to build them this analysis tool, and they wanted to build this space that was 3-sided walls. They could bring the ex-skier in who could then talk about a skier's run or an ice skater's run, wherever have you, and then place the skier or the ice skater on the wall, and then they would bring the skier or ice skater out in AR, and then they would have the ability to obviously walk around. They'd understand where that AR model was with a comfort monitor or a placeholder on the floor, but they could walk around it and do this analysis tool. And it looked fantastic, and they spent a lot of time getting that content looking very good, and the AR elements, the graphics look very, very good. The big change happened is when we brought the skier into the wall. And Amy Fuller, British snowboarder, had just done a run that day. What we actually did was gave her content directly on the wall. So as you can see from the video, whilst it looked great from that side of it, it was essentially just a TV pinned to the wall.
Right, okay.
But she could watch her run. So you can see her suddenly, it's hands in the pockets. She's just chatting, the shoulders are dropped. So she's in an environment she feels comfortable with. She's in an environment she understands because the content's there, the content's real. So if her engagement is real because she can understand the content, then that translates down the camera lens to the people at home. So we came back from Pyeongchang, and we thought, we've got something here. We've got something that can deliver content in a real way for an untrained presenter to be able to come in and engage with. So whilst this was just flat content, and there was a little bit of kind of user perspective. We went a lot further with developing the content, using the camera technology to add real depth to some of the content we were working. But it was also about how can you take that content and really engage with it. So part of the demo we're doing today is a number of bits of content. Some of them are gimmicky, some of them are sort of pretty straightforward, but it's just showing the idea that everything the camera's seeing is everything that's on stage here. So if we come away from aiming, now on the move.
Okay.
So again, go with me on this one. The point being, if I was an astronaut just back from space, been on the moon, and you want to do an interview with me, don't give me green screen, because I'm not an actor, I'm not a stunt performer, whatever have you. I'm an astronaut. So let me be on the moon and talk about, well, there was Earth. Here's the moon lander. Yeah, okay, I can see 3 wheels on the moon lander over there. There we go. I'm on the moon. I'm not trying to look at comfort monitors over there because there isn't one. I can see you. My comfort monitor is here because it's real. What we have is the ability to turn a very small space into a large space by adding virtual set extensions. So my space is 5 meters by 5 meters, but actually our content goes on and on and on and on because we have a virtual extension running out.
Gotcha. Okay.
I can only see the content that's on the walls in front of me. I could have further monitors out there, but I don't need to see anymore because it's here in front of me. Whereas an audience member at home, cameras can pan off and they can go off into the virtual world. And within that virtual space, we can have other assets and attributes. If we move to another scene, I'm on a roof now. So again, I can see these roof lines. I can understand where I am. If I go over here, then I should technically fall down. But because I'm on the side of the skyscraper, I can see it. I can walk around it. So I'm not looking at any monitors because I don't need to, because it's here. And again, it's all being pushed to perspective of camera. It's a gimmicky shot, but it's just underlying that kind of point of view of content is real. Another key thing as well, Stuart, is there's an orange light down here in the content. Because it's there, it's lighting me. But whilst I'm being lit from a studio lens, I'm actually getting orange glow from this bit of content. So I'm being lit by the content, which again, you won't get in green screen. You'd have to add that in post. If we click forward into, there's some other elements we've got here. We're building content in Notch, Unreal, Unity. I said we're agnostic when it comes to the content. We've got different environments we're playing with. Again, click of a button, suddenly I'm in a different space. And again, where you're seeing strobing lighting coming down here, that will light me as well because it's physically here. So I've got these oranges, I've got these blues, I've got this ripple effect. That would light me properly as well. We can tie the content into the real lighting as well. So the LD has the ability to mimic content into his lighting. So again, if I was getting ripples here, we could mimic that on the lighting in front of me as well and get that ripple effect across my face as well. But it's all being done live. There's no post on this at all. Everything you're seeing is everything I'm seeing. This is a glass box studio. So we've got the ability to bring you in now.
There I am.
There you are. And the nice thing is I'm not having to look at my monitor over there that I put to the side of the camera. I'm here with you now. So we can now talk to each other. We can now engage with each other. I can see you. You can see me. You're seeing the camera shot from over there, but actually it still feels quite natural.
Sure.
We could bring someone else in onto this screen and I could start facilitating or mediating or moderating or whatever between the two conversations and act as a host. A lot of interest in was a piece called Flux, which we're doing with co-production with Bug Productions. So we can place audience within any of these cutouts. We can place an interview in this cutout. And the idea being as a artist, I can come onto stage, I can sing, I can play, I can be interviewed, I can talk to fans. Just as you were on the wall earlier in the glass box, you could be here. I could say, Stuart, how are you doing today? You're looking good. And you could say, well, Lee, I love that last song you played. Could you play me this? Yeah, absolutely. The whole point being is the artist isn't having to look at a monitor over there, can be looking directly where we need to at that particular person.
Okay.
So we're using a mixture of tried and tested ways of communication, whether that's video conferencing or whether it's direct camera and feeds from artist or client or interviewer, broadcast feeds coming in, and we're mixing that with content that's being developed and then adding that virtual set extension. So we're trying to create environments that not only feel safe from a presentation point of view, but there's loads to explore there from a presenter point of view as well. So fundamentally it's content at the end of the day, and everyone has their own way of working with content, but we can push content directly to a space that an untrained presenter can understand. So fundamentally what SmartStage is, if we sort of, go back to it, is a presentation tool. And presentation pans so many marketplaces.
So I just want to go back on one of the points you're making before when you're talking about a lighting designer kind of being able to kind of work with the content. if I'm a LD coming into this space, where would I be based? Where's the control room and all of this? Because I know one of the big things you've been pushing is the fact social distancing kind of regulations and all those kind of bits and pieces.
Yeah, we've got a gallery behind us, which is white light staff. So they are running the workflow, feeds in and out. We've given ourselves a good 4-meter space all the way around the outside of the stage, which is empty. Apart from a camera, it's empty. A couple of comfort monitors on stands. But the idea being is an LD could come in and plant themselves with a separate console over in the corner so they can see. And that's the other key thing about this. People can see this content. You could use this as a live presentation tool with a live audience, as well as using it as a camera capture, because the content's actually on the walls. An LD can be placed here. They haven't got to, again, look at it in the virtual world. They can light properly because they can see what's actually happening.
And I want to talk about Disguise XR for a second, because I know that there's something you've been working with them for some time. And we actually spoke to Disguise a couple of days ago, just talking about the workflow and what it can mean for this new kind of streaming culture. Just from your perspective and White Light, what's it been like working with this, still developing workflow?
Where we started, it's 3 years ago. If you go back prior to there's always been a very close relationship with Disguise, and we've seen them grow, they've seen us grow, but we've done that as a partnership, and that's really, really important. And we do that whole piece. It's relationships, not suppplierships. We challenge them, they challenge us, and it's on an equal footing. We're doing a load of R&D with them because it's real world and it's real user, it's real engagement. We've got delivery of SmartStage across the country and across the world at the moment. So we're getting real feedback and real R&D that then we're then giving back to Disguise. So they're getting that, which is really, really important because that's helping their development of their workflows. We're also, sharing a lot with the Disguise community and getting a lot of people to come in and play with, whether it's content, whether it's tracking. There's a lot of different components that have come together to make SmartStage, and that's really key as well. We've got people who are purely interested in the tracking side of it. Fantastic. We've got people who are purely interested in what content can they push. How does it light? How does it sound? So we're bringing lots of people together, and really sort of standing at the forefront of that and having Disguise as our main partner and go, right, this is how we want it to develop. This is Disguise's input. This is our input back to Disguise, and it's being really done as a shared piece of work that allows the technology to be shown in the best possible way.
Well, Lee, thank you very much for having me on your SmartStage.
Thank you, Stuart. Really good to see you, and take care.